Hello and welcome viewers, I am RxOliver, these are my friends, this is Bushido RPG, this is Heroes of Nippon session 64. Take it away, Dave.
Greetings to all of you. As you may remember, at the end of last week, the party of heroes had managed to knock out or kill the Bakemono Sho and the single O Bakemono that was occupying this rather smelly cave in the side of the cliff. One of the party is lying there, well, not really feeling very sorry for himself because he's not feeling anything at all very much, having got knocked out rather effectively by the O Bakemono with his Tetsubo. The rest of the party, having rescued him from the Bakemono Sho, which was rather viciously stabbing him as he lay there, these creatures have no honour, are now standing looking around, wondering what they should do next. They have, I believe, 3 unconscious Bakemono Sho and an unconscious O Bakemono. So,
we'll have
as
to
well as
wait.
the unconscious party, of course.
But we'll have to wait till our leader wakes up, you see.
I see. And what are you doing to help him wake up?
Nothing.
Start by killing the unconscious enemies, just fucking kill them, don't let them...
Well, no, that's your decision, that's not my decision. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to tarp the unconscious ones, and if there are any dead that are in the cave, I'm going to dump them in the pit, assuming there's nothing in the pit.
Fair enough, that works for me.
There are 5 Bakemono Sho bodies lying on the ground. You may remember there should be 6.
Yeah, well, that's because somebody chucked the corpse of one down to the bottom of the cliff, didn't he? Which is why he got knocked out, you see, because it wasn't necessary. Light a torch, or find something to light a torch with, and go and investigate the rest of the cave. See if they've got any loot, having tied the unconscious ones up first.
Okay. What are you using to tie up the O Bakemono? Just as a matter of interest. Well, he's got a rather fetid loincloth.
Well, that will do.
Who's going to be tying him up?
That will be me.
Ugh. Can I have a health saving throw for when you take it off him, please?
If you're insist.
Oh, I do. Is that a successful health saving throw?
No, it fails by 1.
Oof, unlucky, mate.
Okay. So, let me just roll the dice. Fair enough. You stagger back, you are gagging. The smell is appalling. But you managed to restrain yourself. Your gorge was rising, but you managed to restrain yourself and don't actually throw up all over the unconscious O Bakemono. You will probably need Baka to help roll him over onto his front, so you can then tie his hands together behind his back and then haul his legs up and tie his ankles to his hands.
Do you want to see how close I get then?
Well,
Can't. I make my health saving throw.
You can grab his arms and roll him over. Kinzo was getting a little bit close to the groin area, and he obviously doesn't perform much in the way of personal cleansing, shall we say? And that loincloth, you're going to have to find some water and wash your hands. That loincloth was disgusting.
That's all right. I'll take my water bottle and wash my hands with it then. No problem.
After making a wit saving throw, in other words, not rolling a 20, you get to ask somebody else to take your water bottle and uncork it and sprinkle the water over your hands, because otherwise whatever's on your hands would get onto the water bottle, and then you'd have to wash that.
Such fastidiousness.
Harumi, how fast can you climb up here?
Good evening, Brian.
Evening, Brian.
Hello.
Evening, Brian.
Evening, bro.
Thing to walk into.
Well, Kinzo decided to tie up the Obakemono, but there's a distinct shortage of rope. It's not something you normally carry in your gear. So you're reduced to stripping the loincloths and clothes off the Bakemono Sho and the Obakemono and using those. And unfortunately, the loincloth on the Obakemono is rather disgusting. So he resisted the temptation to throw up, but is now having to wash his hands afterwards. The Bakemono Sho can be tied up reasonably easily. The Obakemono, well, you know he's very strong, so you need to make damn sure he's tied up. Anyway,
Harumi, is there not something you might be able to assist with in your magics?
My little bag of magic tricks.
Well, she'd have to get up here first.
Yeah.
yes,
Well, we can do it.
you need to pull
But we don't
Harumi
have-
up. Yes, that's the problem.
Using what? We haven't got any rope.
You want me
Well,
to go
that's
back
all
to
right.
camp and get some bits and pieces?
Well,
And then come back
if you
here.
want to climb down, you could form a human pyramid and then help Harumi up that way.
Fairly sure if I stood at the bottom, I could pass her most of the way up.
You could probably throw her most of the way up. You search
Maybe.
the cave. You search the cave, and you do find some more clothes in amongst the piles of bones, and you find some rags of peasant clothing. Hang on, those are the robes of a Shinto priest. They're a bit kind of torn and ragged, but
Oh.
you could probably
Oh.
kind of tear them into strips and weave them together to make a rope to pull Harumi up. You know, they're a
Oh,
bit
I've got
more
that.
complete than just peasant garb. So you
Okay, we'll do that then.
okay, and in amongst your search, you also find various bits and pieces. Let me see. You find three wakizashi, a tetsubo, 3 yari. Don't really need to worry about the forest goblins' clothing, etc. That's all being used to tie them up. You find 3 gold, 57 silver, and 33 copper.
Oh.
Do you want to add that to the loot tab?
I need to learn Nito Tetsubo.
How much copper was it?
It was 33 copper, which puts your total up to 54, I think.
And 57 silver.
It was 57 silver
And 3 gold.
and 3 gold.
Nice.
Do you want me to add it to the loot tab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and all the rest of that rubbish.
Okay, so you're now up to 7 gold in loot.
That's handy.
Silver's gone up to 63. And you've got 54 copper in total.
We could probably all pull a gold each out of that.
Actually, we got slightly less than that because we've been spending some, and I've not yet adjusted the numbers, but we've got more than enough money for us at the moment.
To Nobioka, would it make sense to invest that with one shoe?
Yes.
Let's get back to Nobioka.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on whether we get back to Nobioka, doesn't it?
Oh, we will.
So it's 3 wakizashi times 3 wakizashi, a tetsubo, and
robes.
3 Yari.
Was there any more
Killed
human
me.
clothes?
The priest robes were rather tatty, and you've torn them up to make rope to haul Harumi up to the cave.
Was there any other human clothes? I'm just curious how many humans are dead here.
Oh yes, there were bits and pieces of peasant clothes. But I mean, difficult to tell how many peasants. But I mean, do you want to go through the bones and kind of make them up into skeletons?
I'm not going through anything. I'm dreaming right now. I'm counting sheep, mate.
Well, given that we've got 7 weapons, it could at least be 8 if you include the priest, because he won't be
Possibly.
carrying any of this.
Aye, possibly.
Well, no. These are the weapons that the goblins were using, if you remember.
Yeah, but they're human weapons. Goblins don't make wakazashis, do they?
No, they take them off people.
Yeah.
You can make a spear.
people.
With that.
They can make a spear, but is this a goblin-made spear or a human spear? We could tell the difference, right?
Yes, they are human-made
They are
spears.
human weapons. And now, is the Tetsubo likely to be a human weapon, or is it just a big fucking tree trunk like the other had? Yeah, okay.
I mean, these are much better armed than your average forest goblins.
Yeah, they've been killing humans.
Let's say, okay, in that case, tear up, make a rope, pour Harumi up. Hopefully, she doesn't fall and break her neck.
Okay.
Please.
Well, or Harumi can tie it around her waist and then get hauled up by Yanagi and Baka. Yes?
Yeah. That would
No
work.
risk whatsoever, unless you were
my.
feeling in a funny mood, Baka.
No,
Oh, look, the rope slipped through my hands. No?
I'm trying to be a good Buddhist.
Fine. So you assemble there in the cave and look at the bodies and consider the effects of the battle. And I award on and Judo stroke Shigendo.
Yanagi will attempt a physician roll on our dear leader.
Thank you, Yanagi.
Aha! Good. Physician roll then, D20. Is that
I matched it
successful?
by 4, I believe.
Okay.
Nice.
And your dear leader, I believe, has no critical.
Let me just. Oh, I don't even have this sheet up open. Bear with me a sec.
That's because you're unconscious. You can't look
Yeah,
at it.
can't look at my sheet. I have 13 lethal and 10 subdual.
Okay.
No.
In that case, is he using up a unit from the medical kit? Do you have a medical kit?
I believe Yanagi does. Yanagi bought a lot of medicines, but I don't know if they've used
Let's have
them
a
or
look at
not.
his sheet. Hang on.
Yes, he's got a unit from the medical kit, but it's not with him.
He's got
So,
a physician's
yeah,
kit and he
I'll
has
Get back to the
bandages.
camp.
So he just gets his physician roll and a bandage.
Okay. In that case, 2 points of lethal better.
Thank you.
More importantly, not bleeding anymore, I'm guessing.
I don't think it was bleeding.
No, he took lethal and subdual, but not enough to kill him. But he was knocked out because of the blow to the head.
Yeah, it was never critical. I wasn't bleeding out. I was just knocked out. Still had half my hit points.
You see, you've got to learn to block with your arms, with your legs, not your head.
Very brave.
Yes.
I can't block Dave rolling a 1, unfortunately.
I can't either, unfortunately. Okay, so basically you will just have to wait until he comes round. Which how many subdual did you take from the Tetsubo?
10.
Okay.
That's
So
me and Love Tap.
Was that 10
Right,
minutes?
so basically you will effectively each hour make your health saving
Oh,
throw.
wow.
Oh, okay, wow.
First,
Roll the first one.
Yep.
So the first one fails. Second one.
Okay, on a 1, you do actually come round, although you've got a very, very bad headache. So, after 2 hours, Kyūryū comes round, and he's not feeling at all well.
Oh.
His brains have been jumbled rather badly by the Tetsubo strike.
I look around at everyone, I'm like, oh, we're all still alive. That's good.
Well, from where you're standing, all you can see is Yanagi. The cave is dark, don't forget. I don't believe anybody has any means of lighting.
No.
So the searching at
Looking a torch, if possible. We got some of those rags and stuff. We can throw around a bone and torch.
Well, they're a bit damp. The place smells as though they don't go outside it to make water, for example.
Basically, we'll all be stood in the entranceway as close to the edge as we can get without falling off it.
Okay. Enjoying the cool night air and as far away from the stench as possible. Fair enough. I will just get Harumi's token and move it up here.
Did Harumi do some magic on the Baka to
So,
is it something bonds you've got?
It's called bursting bonds, which ties people up. It doesn't land. It doesn't. I think it might be the other way.
Is it break out of bonds, or is it?
it's bursting bonds, which is getting out of bonds. So it's if somebody ties you up, it's breaking you out of it. Harumi's spells are mud, bursting bonds, darts of water, and concealing cloak. None of which are really suitable at the moment.
Okay, better hope that those bags hold. I'm not being hopeful.
The Obakemono has probably come out of it and is kind of lying there groaning and kind of muttering to itself in Bakemono. So, let us award some Budo and Shigendo.
Yeah.
Harumi? Are you there? Brian?
I'm here.
Jolly good. Harumi gets 2.3 Shigendo and 3.3 on.
2.3.
I should let you know, Brian, that she was on form last week.
She was very much
Oh,
on form
she
in the
was.
last session, yeah.
Oh, okay.
With those darts, she was bullseye with those darts, mate. She was actually a fantastic fight.
That's where the 17 points of power that you've used on your sheet.
She was
Okay.
MVP in the battle, like 100%.
Yes, you drove the Bakemono show off the ledge. They were throwing rocks down, and it could have got rather nasty. Well, people trying to climb up, but your darts drove them off the ledge into the cave. You did very well, which is why you've got a fair bit of Shugendo and a fair bit of on.
Your
Baka,
invisibility, cloak of invisibility, was clutch for me to be able to start fighting when I needed to. Yeah.
Baka gets 1.5 and 3.5 on.
5 and 3.5. Thank you.
Kinzo and Yanagi 2.7 on. I'll do Yanagi's sheet. And
Sorry,
the
Dave.
party-
How much Budo did I get?
1.7 Budo and 2.7 on.
Yeah, I heard the 2.7 on.
My apologies if the thing failed. And the Fearless Party Leader gets 0.7 Budo and 0.7 on.
Thank you.
was a little bit reckless. You feel that you're to yourself, so you were in the fight, but not really effective. Charging in isn't always the best option. Anyway, so you stand up, Kyūryū, with your headache still there. You have 3 conscious Bakemono show who are tied up, and a conscious O Bakemono, and they're all kind of gabbling at each other in Bakemono. What do you wish your party to do?
Boys, I appreciate that you waited for me for the instruction, but you know what to do with these monsters. I'll give them a nod as they all pull out their tantos and start slitting throats.
Sorry, who's pulling out their tanto and starting to slit throats? Just a bit of interest.
Well, I'm interested. Who's volunteering?
I'm certainly not stepping forward.
I'm doing one, 100%. I'll go for the big guy.
Okay. Kyūryū steps forward and slits the throat of the O Bakemono.
I don't mind fighting them in combat, but I'm not going to go around sitting there. That's not.
And what are you going to do? Leave them tied up to slowly starve to death, or are you going to let them go so they can kill a bunch more humans? This is the kindest thing we can do, is to slit their throats, because we can kill them quickly and painlessly, we can kill them slowly, or we can leave them. And if we leave them, they'll kill more people. Leaving them is not on the cards, boys. Now,
in that case, will you please handle it? Because I do not wish to do it.
If none of the rest of you will step up, I am the leader. I will do them all. I will slit all their throats.
Okay. Judy goes down.
Kinzo doesn't look very happy at this, but he understands Kyūryū's reasoning.
I mean, what? Tell me the alternatives.
Oh, no. He doesn't argue with you. He just looks a bit disgusted.
I would like to hear if there is any alternatives, because I don't believe there is any.
No. He accepts what you said, and he lets you do the dirty work.
I'll happily do the dirty work. I'm saving
Although
lives.
It's the meat eater's paradox.
We're saving people's lives when we do this.
Oh, I agree, says Kinzo.
I'll happily do it. I'll stick a knife in each one of them's ear.
Basically, Kyūryū and the others would realise that as a devout Shintoist, I'm not going to be spilling blood if I can avoid it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand that, but if we don't spill their blood, they will then spill human blood, and that blood's on your hands if you don't get this blood on your hands.
You made the decision, and you've done it.
I'd rather put this blood on my hands than the blood of innocent people.
Fair enough.
These are
I know
monsters
murder of a goblin is a grey area.
It's not a grey area. These are evil monsters that kill people.
For Buddhists.
It's not a grey area.
For Buddhism.
Okay. No, for right and wrong, it's not a grey area. When it comes to right and wrong, and we are right, we're heroes, we're good people that look after the people. It's a matter of right and wrong. It would be wrong to not kill them.
Just gamble. I don't know enough about Buddhism yet to know whether it's right or wrong, so I'm trying to
I don't know enough about Buddhism either, but I know enough about right and wrong.
Then I honour you in the fact that you are dealing with it in the way that you feel is final.
Yep, I'll do it.
Very good. So, I presume you're going to let Harumi down to the bottom of the cliff and then return to your camp?
I mean, have we investigated the pool? There's nothing else in this cavern, right? Yeah, we have.
Well, you haven't really investigated it fully because it's dark and you haven't really got anything to light it.
Wait till morning.
It's still going to be dark inside the cave in daytime. Could just light
torches back at camp.
Torches are at camp, yeah.
Well, anyway, let's go back to camp and sleep what's left of the night.
Let's camp anyway.
Harumi?
Oh yeah, Harumi's got her hand lights.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she has lights.
You can actually, now that you are up here, you can cast a light. One of your basic skills. Yes?
Yes, hopefully this works. And it does work. I made it by 6.
Nice.
Okay. Harumi has a little light blossom on her hand, and she will hold it steadily, walking around the cave, while the others can use it to search thoroughly now.
Yes, let's do that.
And what you had previously thought were just some pebbles turn out to be about a dozen gems.
Oh, let's pick those then. Any bakemono money?
Oh, we've already had the money.
No, bakemono money. Any of that?
I don't know. I don't know they use money.
They
Did
do. Kyūryū collects it.
Well, difficult to tell because you ripped their clothes off to tie them up. So if there were any kind of rocks or pebbles or anything in their pockets, they're in their clothes, they're not there now.
And I've already chucked them in the hole. I'm not going to go looking now.
Right. Okay. Fine. So you've put all the bodies down in the hole. Righty-ho.
Yep.
Okay.
This is where we find out that the hole was where they were mining these gems.
Me? I'm saying nothing. Are you going to drop Harumi down the hole so she
You're
can...
not.
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I want to go back and get some sleep.
Yeah.
That sounds like
sounds
a
all right.
plan.
Okay. I will assume you make it safely down the cliffside, and I will move you back to the map. So you are indeed in amongst in this valley. I'll just move the party marker if you want to zoom in.
Mm-hmm.
You are in a little valley, and there is a pass off. The valley continues to the. If I just use east, west, and north, south, etc.
Yeah.
There's a valley to the east. There is a valley to the northwest. So it's effectively this is a pass between these two blocks of hills here and here. You've gone into the pass, and then it carries on to the east and the northwest. The rest of the night passes peacefully. Or what do you wish to do come morning?
We're going to take some torches up and just go and make sure there's... Oh no, because Harumi did the thing, didn't she? So we don't need to go back to the cave. So we're trying to find the valley, which was the one that's heading west. Am I right?
Well, basically, we should take the
We should take
easterly
this
one.
Oh, this one. East. I meant
No.
east. Yeah, I'm getting my compass backwards. East.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, that actually is going more north than east.
Yeah.
because
It's not, yeah.
of the way the
But
anyway,
that's
that was
the way
the
we
one
want
we
to
were
go, isn't it?
that's
Yeah.
the one that we were following
Yeah.
before we went to beat up some goblins.
Very good.
So we rest for the night and then we get up and go in the morning. Yeah.
Okay. So you are going to be travelling to the east, yes?
Yes.
And what is your current movement rate? I believe it's 4.
4, I think.
Okie doke.
Can
that's
I get
cut
another
down.
one of my strength back, please?
You get another point of your
Morning.
strength back come dawn.
Yeah, nice.
Unfortunately, you haven't rested well enough, those of you who've taken damage, to get any damage back,
Oh, yeah,
unless
well-
Yanagi is going to do some more physician attempts.
Yeah, if you
Now he has the medical kit.
if Yanagi could do that for me,
Has anybody else taken any lethal damage apart from Kyūryū?
Just subdual.
And if somebody could take a note of whatever he does to me, because I need to nip AFK for a second and I won't have my headphones. Won't be long.
Right,
Would
well,
my subdual have gone?
he fails his physician roll, but you get 1 back for the unit of drugs he uses.
Okay, and he only has 9 left. And he's only got 14 bandages left.
No, he's only got 13 left.
Ah, right. No problem. So, your first re of travel rather, takes you.
Sorry, Dave, would my subdual have gone?
Oh, sorry, subdual will come back. Yes.
You get 1d6 of subdual back every 10 minutes, I think it is. It might be
Yep.
off an hour.
All right.
So by dawn, it's all back. So your first re of travel, the valley is continuing to the east. Do you wish to continue?
What are the landmarks we're looking for when we're going this way?
You're not sure.
Check the excerpt from the book. I don't think it gives any further.
Was there something about coming down a hill and coming across a tree, or was it? Am I making that up?
Did I heal any at all, guys?
You
Nope.
got 1 back.
Sorry, you got 1 back. My apologies.
1 lethal.
Yes.
Thanks.
All your subduals
All
back.
your subdual damage is gone.
All the subduals gone and I get 1 lethal off. Okay, thank you.
Okay. From the river, it said, we turned north and travelled a day up a wooded valley, eventually passing up a wooded rise near nightfall. We camped, and the master warned me to stay close to the fire. At dawn it had died, so I decided to search for freshly opened wildflowers of the garnish, but was surprised to hear chimes in the grove as I headed downhill. I went back to wake the master, blah, 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 blah. So basically, we turned north and travelled a day up a wooded valley, eventually passing up to a wooded rise near nightfall.
Wooded rise.
Yeah, we've not found a wooded rise yet, so we'll carry on for
No.
at least another
keep
re.
Okay, so you carry on for another part of a re, because you find yourselves at another turning point
Oh no.
where you have a valley heading southeast and a valley turning north.
Southeast is going to take us back where we came from, isn't it? Like round a circle.
Yes, indeed.
So let's go north.
Actually, would the middle bit not be the wooded rise?
It's not wooded. There's no trees on it.
Well, there is a rise. Effectively, you've got hills to the north of you and south of you, and now to the east of you. There is a small river running down the valley from the north, and heading down the valley to the east. So effectively, coming from the north and heading down to the east.
We turn and head up the upriver, and we're listening out for wind chimes. At least I am.
Yep.
Okay. And you find yourselves. Where are we? Where are we? You find yourselves in a coming up against hills to the north, with valleys to the east and the west.
Without reckoning, we should be continuing the theme.
The river that was coming down here is coming from the west.
Coming from this side.
Yeah.
Correct. It's not a full-size river like the one that you followed up from Nishimaya. It's a relatively small. It's bigger than a stream. It's not a proper river though.
The burn.
Hey, would you say this is still uphill?
That is uphill slightly. That is uphill slightly. So both sides are going uphill slightly.
In that case, your guess is as good as mine, boss.
Well, this is Tim's journey. This is Kinzo's journey. Kinzo's boss when it comes to what way we're going.
I'll apologise and say I was.
What did the cookery book say? The cookery book said we headed north for a day to a wooded rise.
So keep going north.
Yes, but we headed north from where? From the river.
The river.
Which was here.
So a day would be further up here.
We've walked fast.
Yeah, but a day for normal people is something like that, isn't it? A bit further.
A day for if you are walking through normal terrain, normal BMA for normal human is about 3.
3, isn't it?
So in rough terrain, it would be down to about 2. So it'd be at most 2 Ri. And if you're going through and up and down, 1.5, especially if the master wasn't particularly spry.
So we're way past where we need to be looking then.
I think so.
Tim?
So I was just perusing the map. Yeah, I think we'll backtrack and then go down the path that was going southeast.
Then go that way, doing that one, see if there's maybe another one going up this way. Yep.
Yeah.
Is it 2 Ri? Isn't that about here?
These hexes are, I think, 1 Ri.
Yeah.
Let me just check my scale.
So that would be 1 Ri. That would be 2 Ri. So we're looking about here.
We want nose snapping. So if they turn north from here and went north for 1.5 Ri would, 1.5 Ri would take you about to there. 1 Ri, 1.5 Ri. Yes, you're well past where where they would have got.
Let's go back.
Right. Can we just clarify? Kinetic North is actually kind of in that direction.
It's more that sort of direction. But
Okay, so we did
again, bear in mind, this was
No. That's east. North is that way, isn't it?
No,
No, north is that way.
north is about
bit more.
like
Right,
so,
okay. Right, okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
But again, bear in mind, were you talking about it has a cartographer written this,
No, absolutely not.
so it's an approximation.
Yes. And they're talking days, not Ri as well, so we don't know really how far they've gone, eh? It's difficult.
We basically need to come back to this. Well, tracking and looking along the way, but we kind of
I
need
think we
for then.
should head to here and see what's up.
Well, if they were traveling 2 days up from, if they travelled 2 days up from Nishimaya, which is I think it's what it says, yes.
I think it was 2.
fairly sure that this is the landing spot.
Yeah. 2 nights of camping by the river. Okay.
So
So 2 nights of camping by the river. So that would take them probably to about there.
Yeah.
1 night would only take them to about there.
Now, is there a little gap?
2 nights would take them about there.
Is there a gap between the hills going in that direction?
There is.
Which direction?
The arrow?
What's effectively west?
Aye, you see they've got the arrow pointing in there?
Yes. Yes, there was a valley heading northwest there.
I think we head up that one. What do you think, Tim?
Okay.
I agree. We'll go back to our campsite of the night, and then if we got time, we'll go up the left-hand one where the
Aye.
goblins were.
On the
Well,
way back, should we have a bit of a look around here, just to make sure?
Oh yeah, that's what I say. Take our time.
Absolutely, yeah.
well, you camp the night there, and let me just check and see whether anything happens. Nope. You have a peaceful night. The
Silly
following
idea,
day.
Tim.
Have you got your rolls on
If you were
private?
to get the
Dave,
wind
so that
chimes
doesn't
out,
happen?
if you were to get the wind chimes out, would it maybe sing to where it wants to be?
Maybe the wind will blow them in the right direction.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll take them out and hang them from a tree and see
They
which
are
way
meant
they
to be
point.
magical, so.
Well, they hang there. The wooden animals dangle from the tree, from the silk thread cords, and bang against the metal clapper, and sweet chimes ring out, etc. And sorry, no, they're yes, that's right. And it just twists gently in the wind until it settles down, and it's not pointing in any particular direction. You just have these beautiful notes chiming.
Is the wind going in any
It's worth a
particular
try, but
direction?
lovely to hear them.
The wind is coming from the moment. It's coming up valley towards you.
Mhm. Telling us, go this way, go this way. I don't think I think it might be up that one.
Okay, so following day, you
Which one?
travel back along your route.
We'll go round that
Sorry,
way,
are you?
yeah. No, yeah.
Sorry, are you?
I think we should go
Are you
round
going to
that
go?
way.
Are you? Well, what are you going to do? Are you talking about going west, or are you talking about going back to where you were and
Well,
going up?
It looks
Yeah.
like there's a start of a valley there. So instead of going round instead of going this way, which is route we've already discovered, why not just go that way and see what's round there and head to there? Like, so we're aiming for there, but we're going that way to see if that comes round. Do you know what I
We
mean?
don't have anyone with forest skills, and we're going out into the wilderness.
You are in the wilderness.
Aye, we're
You've
already in
been
the
there for
wilderness,
some
mate.
time.
Still sounds dangerous to me.
I mean, we're
No,
already out in the
let's go
wilderness.
back to where the goblins were, and we'll go up that way.
Okay.
In that case, you travel back quite safely, and because you know the route somewhat faster, so you can actually continue northwest up this little valley. And let me reveal some more. You come up into you travel up into a smaller valley, and it continues west. And there is a wooded rise to the north.
Hey.
No, definitely not this way, guys. I think we should go back.
Help the rise.
Okay, well, it is coming up onto nightfall, so you will have to camp at the rise. Okay. So
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Is anyone keep track of our food? Have we got a group pool for that? We don't, do we?
No, because we all bought independently, I think, just
Yeah, so
beforehand.
How many days are we since we did that? Because we're gonna have to do some resource management, I think, guys.
Well, we'd have stopped up at the
You-
last.
you left
place.
Nishimeya 1, 2, 3, 4 days ago.
So we've ate 4 days worth of food.
Mm-hmm.
I've still got 11 days worth of rations.
And after I eat 4, I've still got 8. Okay, that's that dealt with.
Yanagi's got over 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
We have a river here. If we get really hungry, we could always fish.
No, you don't have a river here.
Not
Oh,
here.
You have a river down here.
We're not. We're less than a day away from a river.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so the following day dawns, which is 18 Mutsuki, which is the third day after the spring equinox.
Can I just check? We've camped twice there. Does that mean that's another 2 strength I get?
You camped there and got a strength back. You camped here and you get another strength back the following morning.
Yeah,
Yes.
have I not lost a day? Was it not the 15th we fought the goblins and then we slept on...
You
then we
slept.
one
was
night?
You travelled for a day. So-
Right, yeah. 17th was travelling, wasn't it?
I think you said a cheeky. You camped there for the night and then moved on quite quickly. So just like,
Yeah.
hold on.
Basically, you camped on the night of the 16th. You camped on the night of the 15th after dealing with the goblins. On the 16th, you travelled east and north, and then had to camp out there. And then on the 17th, you've travelled back and then made your way up to this wooded rise here.
One more day of hangover.
And so on those two nights, can I have
Position roll from
Health
Yanagi.
save. 2 physician rolls from Yanagi and 2 health rolls from you?
Nope. And nope.
Nope.
How many physician rolls do you want? 1 or 2?
2.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay.
He failed
You
the first one, but crits the second.
okay? So you get 2 points of lethal back.
Excellent.
And the following dawn, well, you go into the woods of the wooded rise. Yes.
Right, Dave. Is that not plus his healing rate?
Hang on a second. Let me just double check that. You're not exactly in particularly good accommodation.
Yeah, you have to be like
So
in a proper bed to get the healing rate on top of it, I think.
I'm giving you minuses for that.
That's fair.
So it's
Sleeping on rocks.
yeah.
We've got a campsite.
Yes. Do you have decent
it-
tents and ground sheets and so on? I don't think so.
Yeah, we have
Winter
winter
camping.
camping gear.
Winter camping kit.
We've got winter camping gear. We've
If
got tents and
Kyūryū
ground
wants to
sheets.
get his full healing rate back, he'll have to sit around and do nothing for a day.
Exactly.
All right.
You are travelling. You have a sense of urgency.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit around all day. I'll just heal slowly. It's fine. I've not got much left to go.
Okay.
Cool.
Right. It's difficult to see ahead because you're in the trees. I mean, you could climb up the hill to the left. You can see the trees stop after a little while. If you want to look out ahead.
No, just plough through the forest,
Okay. In that case, you make your way down and into a valley, and which feels noticeably warmer.
Ooh.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling quite warm.
Have no.
Try and find a
Now, is the Valley of 1,000
aid,
Autumns?
wasn't it?
Is the Valley of 1,000 Autumns named so because it's never winter?
Yes.
Yes, I thought so.
And you head down slope, and you break out of the trees, and hopefully you should be seeing another map.
I see a beautiful new map, Dave.
And there is the air is fresh and feels healthy. You've come out of pine woods. Down in the valley, to the bottom, you can make out a lake, surrounded by what looks like a deciduous forest. There is a.
Kind of looks a
You've come.
dragon
You've
from
come.
the side.
You've
It
come
does look a
down.
bit like a dragon.
You've come down between 2 sets of hills here and here. There's another hill here, and here, and here.
Those other pings didn't
Running
show.
down that valley, you can make out a small. Well, it's not really. It's too big for a stream, but it's not really a river. which, the size looks reasonably familiar. Do you remember you were following that one north, and it turned west, and you decided not to follow it?
It's that one, isn't it?
It could well be that if you'd followed it up, you'd have found yourselves coming in there. But looking down into the valley, you can make out, I don't know whether you can, if you zoom in very, very close, you can make out the tip of some sort of building there.
Oh yeah.
You can make out some fields on the edge of the lake there. What do you wish to do, O leader?
I think this might be your valley, Kinzo.
I think it might be. We will make our way cautiously to the building, which
Are we
hopefully
going to
will
go
turn out to
round
be
the forest or through the forest?
Or one of those river paths up.
We'll follow one of the rivers up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Left or right?
you are you heading along to the east? Because you can make out a kind of small stream running down the.
I think that's a shorter journey around that side.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's a bit shorter.
Okay. So looking at the valley, you reckon it's probably about 3 ri north east to west, and probably about 2 ri north south. So it'd take you about a full day to go the length of the well, not you lot, but a normal person would take about a full day to go from one end to the other. Very good. You make your way up to the edge of the stream, and you immediately notice something rather strange. It's steaming.
Wow.
It looks as though it's almost boiling, and there's no living plants in the stream itself, and on the bank, the grass looks as though it's been scalded and it's died back.
And I guess no fish in the stream as well, right?
Are you going to try fishing?
No. I mean, I've got eyes. I can look at the water. Like.
Well, it looks a bit cloudy.
I will if it's bubbling,
In that case,
I was going to suggest a bath, but
Kinzo is going to move, so he's walking through the edge of the trees and not along the bank. I'm making my way up to where the building.
Okay. You make your way down the side of the stream, and where it enters the lake, you can see that the water is cloudy and there are bubbles rising to the surface, etc. And steam is rising off the lake. And
does it smell eggy?
It does actually, yes. Bad kind of rotten eggs sort of smell.
That's sulfur smell, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And you make your way further along the edge of the river, and you can make out the peak of the building. It looks like a pagoda up ahead. And you break out of the woods, and you see ahead of yourselves a large pagoda. And in front of it, there is a Torii gate.
You're spoiling us with maps today, Dave.
Well, you don't reach the Valley of the Thousand Autumns every day, you know.
Oh, this is cool.
Okay. So
this is the Torii gate, this line here, isn't it?
yes.
And you don't walk directly through Torii gates, do you?
Well, you can stop and say prayers. Yes,
Yeah,
that's the entrance.
But is it not something like you don't walk directly through it because that was a bad? Is that not? Have I got that wrong? You do walk through it.
I think you're right. I mean, I don't know as a player, but
No,
Because-
I think it is somewhere you stop and you say a prayer. It is the entrance to the pagoda.
So you are expected to go through it, right? Okay, I just seem to remember there being one.
That's
in
my
a game.
understanding.
I think it was just one in
Anyway,
a particular game we shouldn't have went through. I think.
It's quite simple. Kinzo will walk round the Torii Gate and approach the pagoda.
Very good.
I will follow Kinzo.
And outside the pagoda, there is
Another map. Wow. Oh, is this the same? Is this layers of the same map? It is. Wow.
this is the ground floor of the pagoda. Yes.
Very cool.
Okay, so the party approaches the pagoda. All is quiet and peaceful. You can see a gong hung on one of the pillars at the foot of the steps, which you kind of knock on to announce your presence. So you can make your way up to that and strike the gong if you wish.
Kinzo, do you want to do the honors?
Certainly am going to ring the gong, yes.
Very good. And voice coming from the side. Coming. 1 second. Just put this down. Who is it? Calls out the voice as a young lady comes to the doorway. Do you want me to pull out the tokens as well? 1 second.
I'll give Kinzo a nudge when she calls out.
Hang on a second. Let me pull this one out.
Thank you to Graham for putting up the etiquette in the Heroes of Nippon, so I should do that before I ring the gong.
Torii Gate etiquette involves bowing once before entering, walking to the side, not centre of the path, and purifying hands and mouth at a fountain. These gates mark the transition from the secular to the sacred realm of Shinto deities, requiring respectful, quiet behaviour and avoiding direct centre entry. I was correct.
In that case, you are correct. And they've drawn this map wrongly then. Okay.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. I mean,
Doesn't
we
matter.
can't get it all right.
No, yeah.
Right, I shall respond to the female voice. A bunch of travellers seeking audience
What?
with the local.
How did you get here? She turns and runs back into the temple, calling out, Akuda-sama, visitors from outside the valley.
I look a bit flustered because I was going to answer a question and she's run back in.
She runs back out again and bows to you and welcome to the valley. Come in, Okuda-sama will be delighted to see you. Come in.
Thank you very much.
We'll bow deeply and go in.
Bow before entering. Take my shoes off.
Very good.
Pursuit.
You enter the shrine. That is not actually a Buddhist statue. This is a Shinto shrine. Okay, so again, apologies. It is not strictly correct,
No, it's
but
all good, mate.
it will do.
Absolutely.
Well, it's very difficult to get exactly what you want.
Exactly.
Exactly. But there is an image there, and it appears to be of a young lady with an oil lantern burning before it with sweetened oil. And there is an elderly priest who's just making his way to the doorway, leaning on his staff. And what is it, Yukihiro? visitors? Welcome. Are you here from the temple?
Can you put the names in the chat, please, Dave?
Certainly. My apologies. Let me just.
Basically, I shall bow deeply to the both of them. Slightly more deeply to the elderly priest. No, good priest. I'm here to deliver something which I believe belongs to the temple here. Sorry, the shrine. It's not a.
He looks somewhat disappointed, but well, welcome. Come in, Yuki. Please get us some tea. Please come and sit. He will take you over to this area where there does appear to be seating, etc. And Yuki will disappear off up the stairs to the next level, and about a quarter of an hour later she will return with some tea. Meanwhile, the priest, you would say he's in his 60s. He's obviously a Shinto Gakusho. He introduces himself as Akuda Kageyasu, who is the priest of the shrine, and the reason he was disappointed was he sent Nakateru, another Gakusho, out of the valley 6 months ago to seek help from the temple back in the capital, and he hasn't heard anything since.
That.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I have a feeling that your priest fell foul of goblins.
Oh dear.
We had to deal with a small bunch of goblins and an Obakimono, and whilst searching through their lair, we came across the remnants of a priestly vestment.
I shall say prayers for him. I don't suppose you have his bones, so we could give them a proper funeral?
No, but we can bring them for you.
Yes.
Well, that would be most welcome if you could.
Yeah, if I'd had the foresight to realise that who the bones were, then I would have brought them with me, but we didn't have such foresight. Now that we know who those belong to, we would be happy to go and retrieve them for you to do you that favour.
Well, he would be most grateful if you could, but that still doesn't solve his problem. I mean, you are the first people who've come here in the last year. Normally, there are more visitors from the capital, or from the local village, but you said that you had a reason to come here. Something you thought was.
Yes.
I'll look at Kinzo.
I basically, as a player, I can't remember quite long, but as Kinzo, I say, well, on this day, we helped Lord Kanawa defeat a bunch of bandits. And amongst the ill-gotten gains that these bandits have were a sacred text of invocation, I think it was, to the god of rice, which we delivered to the rice shrine. I don't know name where that is. But whilst I was touching it, I found this, and I shall produce the wind chime.
Ah, one of the chimes. Oh, blessings of the Kami on you. Oh, thank you. Was there any sign of the others? No?
No.
Unfortunately, this is the only one that we have.
But they are still in one piece. Oh, that is good. Or well, I don't know. Yuki, bring the tea, he calls, and she turns up, and he will tell you the tale of the valley. Plot exposition, blah blah blah. Okay. The Valley of the Thousand Autumns. Let me just move you to the valley itself. So this is the overall map of the valley. And this has been a site of veneration for centuries. Lake Nukamori, which is the Lake of Warmth, is the centerpiece of the valley, and it is believed that the kami of winter warmth sleeps beneath the lake. And the shrine is erected and serves her. She is the kami of the valley, as well as the kami of winter warmth. And she sleeps beneath the lake, and the priests serve her and have for centuries gone by. And it's believed that the kami of winter cold rises in power throughout the year. He is weakest during the summer, when the kami of the summer heat is strongest, and they fight for supremacy, and he gains in power during the months of autumn and becomes most powerful as winter, as the year draws on, until in the winter he can cover the entire island in ice and snow and blizzards, and bring death to the people of Kyūryū. But the kami of winter warmth is she's kind, and when the ice of winter crisps the shores of the lake, she awakens and she diverts him. She draws his powers away and mitigates the cold of winter so that the people of the island can survive. And since time immemorial, winter truly never comes to the valley, which is why you may have noticed as you were walking along the lake, there were autumn leaves everywhere, but nowhere has the hand of winter actually touched the leaves themselves. So you have the leaves of 1,000 autumns beneath the trees.
Seems like she was particularly effective this year because it was a very mild winter.
That is what is worrying him, because the valley is protected. There is a sacred gong within the shrine that they ring more at dawn and at dusk, and that protects the lake from anyone who may wish to harm the kami. But she had created wind chimes to keep spirits and monsters out of the valley, and 4 of them were placed at the cardinal points of the entrances to the valley. 1 to the south, 1 to the north, 1 to the east, and 1 to the west. And those have kept the valley peaceful. The servants of the shrine and the village could pass out and obtain goods and so on. And since time immemorial, the valley has been peaceful. But 18 months ago, someone stole the wind chimes. And so the valley is no longer safe against monsters and spirits, except around the lake itself.
Yeah.
The gong will protect probably out to about that distance from the lake.
Well, Kinzo would like to share with you some good news.
What distance?
1 second. It will protect for about
Half
half
a
a ri out from the lake. So effectively, it protects the lake itself in the immediate vicinity. So the monsters and evil creatures and so on cannot come within half a ri of the lake itself. But the rest of the valley is open to everyone now. And in the last year, they have noticed that the waters of the springs that flow into the lake have become hotter. They were always slightly warm. There are hot springs, but they've been pleasantly warm, not cold, not boiling, but something is causing increased heat. Sorry, who have we lost?
We've lost Tim.
Tim.
Oh dear.
He's
Aha!
back.
Tim is back. Jolly good. Some spirit seems to have been heating up the rocks and causing the waters to become hotter. And it's starting to heat up the lake itself. And his concern is that if the lake itself is hotter,
It'll cook all the fish in
then
it. They'll all die.
no. His concern isn't for the fish. His concern is that it might mean that when the Kami of winter cold arises and becomes more powerful, ice may not form on the lake, and therefore the Kami will not wake, and there will be nothing to mitigate the effects of cold. What could be causing the rocks to heat up and boil the waters in the springs, he doesn't know. Some sort of spirit of fire or heat or something.
And do you think that's some spirit that was kept away by the wind chimes? So now the wind chimes.
Well,
are not
yes,
here.
yes. Without the wind chimes, the goblins and spirits can now enter the valley. And by the sound of it, I sent one of my junior priests. 1 second, let me just get his name and I will put it up.
Just wondering how long Tim's going to make this guy wait before he tells him, like.
I've already shown him the wind chime.
Oh, you
so
have
he
already
knows-
shown him them. So.
Oh yes, it's showing which is why he's telling you about it.
okay.
And the priest Nakatera was the priest he sent out to the main temple in the capital to beg for assistance, because he's too old to go out himself, but he needs to stay here to make sure that the gong is rung daily to protect the lake and the villagers. But he cannot do anything about the whatever's causing the springs to boil and start to heat the lake up. And well, with the wind chime, hopefully that will, if we could move it around the valley, that might hold it off. If we could recover the others, then my theory was that they'd been stolen and taken away and hidden somewhere, because the Kami's power is in them. And if they are taken off the island or destroyed, then that would rouse her, and I could ask her indulgence and assistance. But while she's sleeping, I can only invoke her in her dreams, and she's much less powerful. You say a bandit had this in his belongings?
Yeah, I'll name the bandit because we do know his name. Is infamous.
Doesn't mean anything to him, unfortunately.
Well, I didn't think it would. But,
He's been in the valley for decades, and no. Well, if that is still on the island, then the others must still be on the island as well. Would you be able to hunt them, do you think?
Do you have any clue where they might be at all?
I'm certainly prepared to try, but I don't know where to start.
Yeah, I also would be.
Well, given that the power of the kami is in them, then I could ask whether she could give you some means of tracking where they are to lead you to them.
Dragon Ball. Okay.
That would be most helpful, sir. Most helpful.
Are any of your group Shinto Gakusho? He says, not looking hopeful.
We are not.
No, sir. Unfortunately, we don't have such a member of our group.
Would any of you be pious Shintoists?
That would be me, sir. Yes.
In that case, I could ask the kami to give you a blessing to seek her essence and to try to find them. If you would be willing to take on the burden.
Well, it really depends on whether I'm allowed to have more than one blessing at once, sir.
All I can ask.
Oh, please do. I mean, if she's prepared to do that, then yes, I'll accept the burden.
Well, it will only be in her dreams. So, how effective or how much he understands of what I'm asking, although the dreams are very powerful. And
it cannot hurt. It cannot hurt to try, sir.
I will indeed. He asks Yuki to go and get his calendar, and he has a look, and he will get out some stalks of yarrow and rolls them, and it would be auspicious in, I think, 4 days to carry out the ceremony, to invoke her. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be 22 Mutsuki. That would be the most auspicious day. It would be the dark of the moon. And so it is a good time for a new start. As the moon rises, then your chance of finding what you're looking for will increase. He goes into all sorts of verbiage, which it sounds to you like an astrologer or someone who is very good at divination, shall we say?
Yes.
Yes. Not exactly using the I Ching, but casting the yarrow stalks and trying to discern the best time for something.
Is there a little village associated with those fields?
Oh yes. There are 3 families who live there, and they grow the food that we
Excellent.
live on.
Then I suggest that we wait for the ceremony in 4 days' time, and we help with the tasks of the village.
Well, that would be most helpful. They would be pleased to listen to people from outside the valley, and you probably ask you all sorts of things about the outside world.
we'll be happy to. Well, I'll be happy to answer questions.
Right, shut Baka up.
Fine.
Not only that, it'll give Kyūryū a chance to recover all his health.
Oh, he notices Kyūryū is not looking healthy and will offer to heal him.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
It has a massive
20
interest,
wow.
though.
25 lethal.
Oh, okay. I don't have any lethal.
Wow.
I've only got subdual currently.
Well, no, you've got all your subdual back.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I do. Yeah, I've only got lethal currently. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so 25 lethal.
Thank you. I am back to full health. Thank you very much.
Sorry, were you saying something, Baka?
No, hold on. The Goblin Cave, how far away is it? Could we
Couple
get there
days.
and back in a couple of days?
Oh, easily, yes.
In that case,
Let me move you back to the main map.
no, in that case, I've had a thought, sir. We will, the four of us, because there's four, we'll go to the Goblin Cave and pick up all the bones and bring them back so that you can carry out the appropriate rites.
That would be most most fortuitous if you could do that. Yes.
5 of us. Then we've still got Yanagi with us.
My mistake. Yes, there's 5 of us. Sorry. Yes.
1 second while I just zoom in and expose the Valley of the Thousand Autumns.
Didn't go too far wrong, did we?
No, not at all. Got it almost first time.
Yeah. No, I
There
almost
you
went.
go.
I think
I almost went up this valley the first time, and then I went, no, we've got the other way
Yeah.
instead. Outthunk myself, you see, outthunk myself.
Yes.
personally, I think it says more about the directions than it does about how we did. I think we did a lot better.
Yeah. We'll say
Well, I'm sorry. The peasant cook basically said go north for a day to the wooded rise, and
He's got a D20
There he
map,
was.
that's the problem.
yep.
No,
Okey
the directions are actually quite good. It's just a bit vague at the end where they're going to course. He probably got a bit excited, you know.
Well, he found some wildflowers. That was it. Anyway, so yes, so literally the Goblin Cave is just here. In actual fact, it is overlooking this access route. Now that you think about it, so
That's
anybody
what we would-
anybody coming out of the valley or going into the valley would have to pass it.
That's why he's had no visitors, because they've been killed.
Mm-hmm. Could well be.
It turns out, Kyūryū, that you were indeed correct, and the goblins had to die. I apologise for doubting you, sir.
That's all right. Kinzo, you're human. It's your job to doubt me. Like if nobody doubts me, then who's gonna put me right when I make a wrong decision or a wrong call? You're quite right to doubt me. I was right in this case, but you should still always
thank you.
question everything. Keep your wits strong. Keep everything sharp. Keep mine sharp. If everybody just
Okay.
does everything I say and mindlessly says yes, then who knows what path we might go down. You have to.
He's got a fair idea.
Anyway. Yukihiro, the young lady, is deputized to take you to the village and introduce you to the villagers, so that they don't run away in terror or anything like that. And let's just move you back to the detailed map of the valley.
Yukihiro, her name was,
Yukihiro. It's in the chat.
yeah.
Okay. So, there is a small village here with 3 families, and they look after the fields, they go fishing on the lake, etc., etc. There is a small bridge across the that cut of water there, and you are taken to the village, and they are delighted that there are visitors to the valley. they thought they were cut off. But does that mean there will be more people coming? You don't know, obviously.
There may be. However, we had to deal with a small party of Bakemono that were possibly blocking the way that we came in. So it might be that other people have fallen foul to these creatures.
Tried to be coming here, yeah, and not come because of the Bakemono. They've fallen the same way as your priest.
Yeah.
Good. Well, they will ask questions about the outside, the latest news. You know, who's doing what, how's the emperor, blah 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 blah. So you can pass on all the usual gossip.
We pass on the gossip that we know about.
Yes. Which I don't generally update you on because there's no real point. But yes, you pass on the gossip. They are very welcoming. They're obviously used to being here, and the menfolk keep up the shrine with their woodworking skills, etc. The women folk weave and clean and keep the shrine up with their skills. And the kids cause trouble as normal. But
that is their
nothing
job.
unusual there. Yes.
Yes.
So you spend the night in the valley, and the following day dawns again. Clear skies, moderate breeze from the northeast. Oh, you feel refreshed. There's something about the air in this valley. It's revivifying. And are you going
Hangover's
to head...
gone.
Yay!
Feel
Everyone's back to full fitness. Love to see it.
And are you heading south to go and visit the cave and
Yep.
Yeah,
bring
we'll
back
go.
the bone?
Retrieve the bones of the missing priest, Mr. Nakateru.
Ask
well,
the
that's-
priest if he's got some special, like, cask that we can use for carrying the bones that's a bit more sacred than the very cheeky sacks.
Yeah, good point.
He will get Yuki to root about, and she comes out with a chest. It's not a standard porter's chest. It looks as though it was intended for holding more religious items, and she's lined it with a piece of old silk lining it. And she asks you to if you could place the bones in there and treat them with respect. Say a prayer to the kami of the place that they died, and that he died, and bring him back, and we will say rites over them. Sadly, we have no Buddhists here, so we should just ask the kami to bless his spirit as it goes on to down to Yomi. Right. Does anything happen on your way to the Goblin Cave?
Anyway,
Nope.
when I'm out of earshot, I'll say to the guys, "Thank you for not mentioning the fact that I used one of them as a torch."
Best they don't know that, mate. Yeah, it's best they don't know that.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping that one on the down low.
We can just pretend that never happened, mate. That'll be our little secret.
Okay, so you travel to the Goblin Cave, and I'm afraid it's somewhat stinky, even more than it was. And there are signs that the rotten flesh at the bottom of the pit is attracting vermin. There are tracks of scavengers, etc., but they've not managed to get down there.
It's just
Okay.
flies and turning into maggots at this point, isn't it?
Sack across the mouth,
Yeah.
and then
Fine.
across the mouth, and then
Okay.
get the
There's a
bones into the
mixture.
thing as quick as possible.
The bones in the cave are a mixture of animal and human. And looking at it, you're pretty sure that there's more than one human in there. In fact, probably more than two.
Aye, and we can't We can't work
I'm
out
not being discerning.
Yeah, we can't
just
work
putting
out
all
who's
the bones
who.
in.
We're just going to put all the human bones in.
I'm putting all the bones in because I can't tell what the difference between a human bone and an animal bone
Well,
Yagi can make a physician check on that, maybe?
is.
do you want
It'll be handy.
trust it?
That would be a physician check, would be the closest thing, wouldn't it?
Agreed, but do you want to risk it?
If we miss a couple of bones, it could be bad news.
Is missing a couple of his, is that worse or better than bringing him back with loads of, like, with Bakamono bones and rabbit bones and rat bones? Is it better to just give them everything and let the priest sort it out, right? Okay? Okay,
yeah.
if you think so.
So you're not exactly experts.
No.
No, anything that's obviously an animal bone, we'll leave behind. So the small bones of rats and that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll take all the human skulls that we can
The thing
find
is, though, if you're trying to be thorough, the small leg bone of a rat could be the finger bone of a human person. You're not going to be able to tell the difference between a rat's leg and a human's finger, eh? Take it all.
Plus, the smell in here is terrible.
Take
I
it
am
all.
literally going
We're
in,
not sifting through
scooping,
it.
gathering,
Scoop
and
it up,
dropping in.
Baka. Just scoop
Scooping,
it up,
gathering,
mate.
and dropping in.
Yeah, scoop it up.
Quick as I can, and
With
holding
the
my
rat
breath.
droppings and
as I
everything,
can.
mate. Just scoop it all
Okay,
in.
so you're doing it, are you, Baka?
I don't mind doing it.
Okay.
Good lad.
Please make a health saving throw.
Unlucky me.
Could it be worse? Could it be worse?
Okay, you're gagging and holding your gorge down, and
Right, as
But
he's gagging and struggling, Dave, can I go and give him a hand then? I'll make a health saving throw. If he's gagging and struggling. There you go.
You're gagging and trying to keep your gorge down as well, and you're both in kind of dire straits, etc.
But seeing me,
We better be in here with the torch, by the way.
Seeing me play through it will inspire.
Well, no.
to...
You are kind of reacting exactly the same way as he is.
But I've made my health saving throw, so I can handle it, just about, and that inspires.
Listen
Baka
to me.
it.
Listen to me. You are reacting in exactly the same way that he is.
Okay. Right. Okay. So that means that the saving throws for something else, and I've passed it and he hasn't. Okay, I get exactly what you mean now, Dave. Sorry, it took me a second. Yes. Okay. So I gag and I bulk, but we get it done.
Okay. You get all the bones into the trunk, and then you drag the trunk to the edge, and that rope that you made out of the priest's robe has been torn and worried by the.
We've got rope in our
the
packs,
scavengers.
definitely.
Have you?
I'm certain I've got rope.
We've got sacks. We've got winter camping gear. We could make a rope if needs be.
I have.
Camping gear has ropes because tents have ropes.
Sure, I got rope.
Camping gear's got
Yes. Well, tents tend to have cords, not ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I'm a
But
sheep.
but
I thought I bought some, but apparently not.
if you had half a dozen of those tent cords twisted together, that's a rope, isn't it?
Agreed. Yes.
So we do have a rope. We could.
Fine.
Take half
Who's
an
got
hour
the rope
twist.
making skills?
You are a harsh GM, like.
Basically,
I mean,
you can put your tent ropes together to make a makeshift rope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking twist them together, dear. I'm not doing a French braid, mate.
Yes, I know. But then you got to take it all apart to try and get them back into usable form for your tents. Anyway, you managed to get the trunk down to the ground.
Buy some rope.
Without dropping the bones all over the bottom of the cliff. All right.
Yeah.
And given that it's less than a day's journey, you can also make it back into the valley that same day. Okay, it's nightfall by the time you get back to the.
Dave, just before we go with him, is there any water on our way back? Like a stream or something like
Not in that particular rise. There's if I move you back to the main map.
No, that's fine. In which case, I can't
Yeah.
do what I wanted to do, which was to wash the bones. So when we wash the bones, when we
We'll definitely wash them before we get back to them, yeah. We'll definitely clean them
Tim?
before we get back.
basically we'll take a
Tim.
bit of a detour to find some water, and we'll wash the bones.
100%.
Well,
So
that's boiling.
There was really boiling water there. We've got something like a pot or anything making
Oh,
dinners.
that's
And
true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we've
yeah.
got
you can take some water out of there, let it cool down a bit,
Yep.
and then.
Okay.
I don't want to take the bones back when they're smelling of death, because the priest won't appreciate that. I
Okay,
don't
fine.
appreciate it either. For that
Very
matter.
considerate.
In that case, you can camp for the night there and spend a couple of hours washing the bones and making sure they're all clean. Okay,
Yeah, we will do.
and then leaving them out to dry.
Yep.
Okay. Does anything happen that night? Nope. It is peaceful, and so you travel back to the shrine.
This is the
Did
20th.
the priest say he was going to install the wind chime straight away, or is that getting done
Oh
as part of the
no,
same?
no.
Okay.
Wind chime is still at the shrine.
Hasn't been installed yet.
Well, no.
Less than.
Well, he's concerned. Oh, sorry, I didn't mention it at the time. But when you give them to him, and he talks about the other three, he's not going to put it up because the chimes at the moment stop the entrance of spirits and goblins and creatures like that into the valley, but they don't stop the entrance of humans. And he suspects that they used humans to steal the wind chimes last
Right.
time. So if they just put them back where they were, there's nothing to stop humans coming back and stealing.
again.
And I
The
thought
other
he was
thing
putting
to-
one in the temple.
The other thing to remember, of
that
course, is you might need all four for the ritual to work.
Well, no. In the hearing of the chime, it kind of drives away spirits and goblins.
Okay.
So it's only in the hearing of the chime. So if they put it where it protects one entrance to the valley, then it'll protect a couple of the springs, but it wouldn't protect the others.
Oh no, I thought he was putting it up in the pagoda to begin with, just to cover this area.
Oh no!
Well,
He
you
has
showed
the
us-
gong.
The gong, the
The
gong
gong,
covers the immediate area.
it-
The gong covers a
Yeah,
half
the
mile.
gong covers the
Sorry.
immediate
radius.
area.
Okay,
and
sorry, I
that
missed
also,
that bit.
and that is more powerful, and also prevents
Gotcha.
men with evil in their hearts from entering as well. And so that would protect against anyone coming to try and harm the kami. Although again, he's not sure whether what's in the water that's bubbling down. That's if the lake is filled with noxious things from those springs, then that might harm the kami. He doesn't know. But he suspects some sort of spirit of fire, or kami of fire, or such has been invoked to cause the rocks to warm up. But why this last winter has been so mild, he doesn't know. Probably they didn't. Somebody has been trying to keep the kami of winter cold asleep or weaken it so that it won't wake up the kami of the lake. He's not a politician. He doesn't understand all these ins and outs, but somebody's tampering with what should be. Right. So the shrine. The priest is delighted to get all the bones back, and he thanks you. He realizes that you've actually got the skulls of 4 humans there. So there's 4 people, and So he will say the rites for 4 people. There was nothing to identify who the others were, so he will have to just say the prayers for his priest plus 3 others, and ask the kami to guide them on their way to Yomi, and trust that they are all creatures, beings of good who will have a just reward. And
They come back highly in the wheel.
Is a Buddhist view of life.
The wheel, yeah, that's a Buddhist thing.
I'm not entirely sure whether, as far as the spirits of the dead, etc., they certainly go to Yomi. What happens to them after that in the Shinto religion, I'm not entirely sure.
I don't think they believe in reincarnation like the Buddhists do.
No, the Buddhists believe that they may go to Yomi, but they return to the wheel, and to kind of purge their bad karma from previous incarnations. Anyway, he and Yuki will...
Certainly wasn't a slide dig at all.
Yes, he and Yuki will sort out the bones, and they will hold a ceremony to bless them on their way to Yomi tomorrow, and then the ceremony to invoke the kami will be the following day. Have we still lost Tim?
He just came back and then dropped again.
Okay, Discord's probably either Discord or his internet connection is playing up at the
He's
moment.
back.
Welcome back, Tim.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Sorry, the priest and Yuki will sort out the bones. There are 4 skulls, so therefore, obviously, there's 4 dead souls. They will clean them and prepare them for a ceremony to help them on their way to Yomi tomorrow on the 21st, and then the following day on the 22nd, they will try to invoke the kami for aid for you in finding the other wind chimes.
How many more is there? 3 more wind chimes.
There are 3 more wind chimes. You have the wind chime of the. You have the wind chime of the south.
Yeah, there was one for each of the compass points, wasn't it?
There was one for each of the compass points. Yes. And he will actually show you the carvings on the chime, which indicate that this is the wind chime of the south. And while... One second, let me see. Does he think of that? Oh, on a 2, he definitely thinks of that. Given that you are going to be doing this for the kami, and we do know that there are bakemono and spirits that are involved against the kami, although he's happy that you've returned it, it may be wise for you to take it back with you on your hunt.
Him having it here might attract
No.
them to take it again. Might just lose it again.
No. If you are hunting for the other chimes,
The one in...
you may run into spirits and bakemono and such like trying to stop you. And if you reveal and ring this chime, it may
repel them.
cause them to be repelled, yes. He doesn't know how much of the power comes from being so close to the lake. He thinks that, it contains some of the power of the kami. Being close to the lake would obviously reinforce that power, but even out on the rest of the island, it will still have power. So, given that you are going hunting for these, he thinks you need all the help you can get against the creatures of the Lord of the Mountains and the the spirits that may be trying to stop you from your quest. I'm not entirely sure whether quest is a Japanese concept. It's a task. It's a task of honor. It's something you are on. But whether it's a formal quest is something in the Japanese psyche, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, but he is suggesting to Kinzo that you take it with you, and if you are beset by spirits or bakemono,
To ring it.
bringing it out and ringing it may help. What does Kinzo feel to that?
If the priest thinks that's the best thing to do, then I'll do it. It's not a problem.
Well, he is very grateful that you are going out to look for these, because he himself obviously can't leave, and Yuki, he smiles fondly at her, is hardly the right person to do so. What he would suggest is that you travel to the High Temple in the capital and explain there what's happening, and they may be able to give assistance to in your quest.
Which capital is he talking about?
The capital of Bungo Province, which is where you
Well, I
are.
thought it probably was, but I thought I'd check just to make sure we don't go airing off to Kumamoto or somewhere like that.
No. The capital of Bungo Province is actually Oita. From memory. So the capital is.
And where is it?
Okay.
Right, it's essentially where we started our journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I think you started your journey back in.
Well, yeah, we've come all the way from
Nobioka.
Nobioka, actually. Yeah, we came from Nobioka to there, and then.
Yes. Yes, that river is the border between Bungo
That's two
and
provinces, isn't it?
and North Hyuga. Anyway, but it's where you started your journey, following the classic, the Japanese
Following
classic
the instructions, yeah.
that had the clue. Yes. Okay, back to the Valley of the Thousand Autumns. And so, the priest will hold the ceremony for the departed souls on the 21st. I presume you're not planning on travelling out of the valley before then?
No, we'll stay for the ceremony.
No, we have no reason to leave now since we brought the bones back.
Correct.
Only one thing I want to do, and that's as soon as we get back to the village, I'd like to buy like fishermen. They normally fish in.
You want some rope?
They would like 50 foot of rope, please, before
do
we
we
go
need to do
any
another-
further.
Do we need to do another 2 days of food? Or would they have fed us here last
Oh
night
no,
at the temple?
no. You are being fed.
Yeah.
They have no shortage of food. The climate is very beneficial, and there is a plentiful supply of water, plenty of fish, and the fruit trees do very well in this valley.
Can I restock up to 15 food rations,
Of
4
course.
food rations,
Can I do that as well?
50 foot of rope, please?
Yuki will ask the villagers to get you the stuff, and they will provide it for you free of charge.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh my
do
god,
some
amazing.
food. So I'm gonna put my food up to 15 as well then.
How much weight is 50 foot of rope? So, too excited.
1 second.
It's in the list, is it?
Actually, the village. Thinking about it, the villagers might be quite glad But you want some of the extra food because that way they don't throw so much away.
Yeah.
I'm seeing rope hemp and rope braided hair, so I'm guessing rope hemp.
This will be hemp, yes.
Do they have 2 of those?
They've got loads of rope.
Well,
They can
oh my
always
God.
make more.
I'll grab one of them as well, mate.
Wait a second, because it holds 1,000 pounds, and that's a quarter of a foot. How I'm reading this?
Hang on a second. Where is it? Bum.
Rope hemp.
If I put in 50 there,
It says weight is 0.25 pounds. So do you have to put you're gonna have to put in like a quantity for the length, aren't you?
It's about so 12 pounds for a 50
anything.
foot. 12 pounds for 50 foot.
Yeah, I'll put 12 in there.
So yeah, if you put 50 in the number column, it will change the weight to 12.5 pounds.
And V is baggage. I need a that.
V
Cool.
is baggage, right? Okay.
Okay.
So what I'm carrying, am I actually good now? Quick check. I'm partially encumbered at the moment, but that's only -1, so I'm still going as fast as Harumi.
I'm not encumbered.
But it also gives you minuses on your on some other stuff as well.
Okay, but I'm going to be the first thing I'm going to be doing at the Silent Trouble is dropping my pack anyway. So
Correct. Yes.
hopefully, when it counts, it's not going to be too much of a issue. And now I've got 50 foot of rope, I can get across rivers safely.
Hang on, because it's saying weight carried 30.25, and then when I take the rope hemp, which has got 12.5 weight, and then I put an X in the own baggage, it's not adding it. It still says weight carried 30.25.
Have you got carried
Put in
where
own,
it says status of?
I put
Yeah,
in,
look at the step where it says.
in own baggage. Does that makes it carried, doesn't it?
Go, yeah, no, go to the top, and you should see status of own baggage. Does that say dropped at the moment?
Wait a bit. Oh no. No, yeah, it says carried. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
how much in your weight not carried column?
12.
So it's, yeah, for some reason it's showing in your weight not carried.
I've put it in the in own baggage column. It's the third column, isn't it? Yeah.
Huh?
it should be showing that. Yes.
Is it in your general equipment? Oh, it wouldn't matter anyway.
I've done everything right, like.
Interesting. Better check and see why that's not working. That's very odd.
So I put 50 in the number, and that made the weight 12.5. So you've obviously got it formulated that, you know, each foot is the right thing, and then I put the X in that column,
Yes.
which is the in own baggage column.
Yep. But why is that not showing it up?
So
Oh, because it's the 30.25 is no longer a formula; it's a number. One second, let's just paste it in. There you go.
let's see what it says now. Partially encumbered.
Yep. So, if you drop it, then you're unencumbered.
So I'll just drop it if any fighting happens, that's fine. Because I'm still much faster than everybody else. Well, much faster than our slowest while encumbered.
Yes, yes, of course, if Baka carries your slowest, then... Okay, so, You spend the day resting in the village. The peasants will, the children will pester you for tales of daring do and how you defeated the goblin, etc.
I'll attend the funeral rites.
And then the following day,
So will I.
you have the ceremony for
Oh,
the four
we will.
souls. And this is to placate their spirits and wish them well and hope there's no reason for them to come back and pester the living. So the priest will carry out the ceremony, and we hope we don't roll a 20. Yes, the ceremony is done.
Was this the same day as the funeral, the day after?
This is the day of the funeral, which is the 21st. You got back to the village, to the temple on the 20th, and returned the bones to the priest. And then on the 21st, he holds the ceremony for the departed souls and wishes them well. There are no indications of angry ghosts or anything like that. And he then talks to you about the ceremony that's going to be held tomorrow. And he will be trying to invoke the Kami of the lake and ask her for guidance in seeking the wind chimes which hold her spirit. And asking that the blessing of that guidance be passed to Kinzo. And let us see how things go. So the ceremony will be held at dawn, and he's up very early preparing. He's ritually cleaned, etc. Kinzo is invited to be ritually cleansed before the ceremony as well.
I'll accept that.
And all the peasants will be coming along to add their voices to the entreaties to the Kami. The initial parts of the ceremony go very well, and all the preparations seem to be in place, and the appropriate offerings are made, and the priest then invokes the Kami and does exceptionally well. And a middle-aged lady appears in the shrine, and the priest bows politely. Mistress, we seek your guidance. Wrongdoers have stolen the chimes containing your spirit, and these brave souls have returned one of your chimes to your valley, but the 3 more remain to be found. We seek guidance for Kinzo, who has offered to seek them out and return them to the safety of your presence, and ask that you inspire him with the ability to track them down and return them hence from where the malefactors have taken them. And she smiles and thanks Kinzo for taking on this task, and please roll I think it's 4d10.
Quick question, Dave. Was this ceremony...
4d10.
This ceremony...
Please roll 4d10.
This ceremony that they're doing just now, this isn't on the same day as the funerals. This was a
Oh, no. This is the day after the funerals, yes.
I thought so.
Which is the optimum day according to his divination. Please roll 4d10. 18. please add 18 to your Shinten score.
Oh, wow. Nice, Kinzo.
You get the memory
And-
points for going up those stats.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
And she instructs you each morning at dawn to call on her, and if you are successful in your invocation, i.e. successful in a Shinten roll, then it will direct you towards
Amazing.
the nearest chime that is not already in your possession.
Incredible.
And each member of the party can have an additional point of key.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Ooh.
Wow. That's rare. You only get that when you level or when you master a skill, right?
You have brought back one of her chimes, and you are seeking the rest. She is grateful.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
And then
normal mechanics, you only get them for a level up or for mastery of a Bugatti.
Correct.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
So that is powerful. Has anybody added a point of key to Yanagi, or shall I do it?
I can get that for you if you want, mate.
Okay, if you add that to Yanagi.
Will do.
And then she fades back to sleep.
As she's going, I shall bow deeply.
Oh,
I don't
as,
say.
Oh yeah.
as will I, as I'm sure we all will.
Very good. What
Then
did-
I look a bit shocked as my brain rearranges itself.
Yes, you get a massive upload of knowledge.
Yeah, well, I've just gained 0.2 wit.
Really nice. Nice.
Ye
very nice,
gods.
mate.
Very nice.
That's
Wow,
very
that-
good.
Well, that was four BCS increases, you see.
Yes.
Nice.
So what's your Shinten now?
90, I believe it is.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Check you out. You're a proper religious guy, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, what?
As I've said before, right, when I first started to play the character, my idea was that he'd be a money-grubbing peasant who became a samurai. The interaction with the Kami of the Well derailed that so thoroughly. It's unbelievable.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
of course,
really
that's the
changed
way-
his character. It's been a great character.
No, it's not
arc.
changed his character so much as it's
Changed his path.
diverted him into something less merchant-like, should we say?
Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed what that's done to Kinzo and how it's forged his path. It's been fun to watch.
It's what makes these games. As far as I can say, it's what makes these games interesting. It's
Yeah,
not
absolutely,
when
mate.
it goes right. When something odd happens, you go, "Well, how does that affect me?"
Absolutely, yeah. I've really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
I'm just looking at my skills. I've got 6 in Bushido and 5 in Shinten. My religious knowledge is not so hot. My base BCS is 0.
Well, for a martial artist who's not really concentrated very much on religious skills,
Yeah,
you're
wow.
doing very, very well. Not as well as Kinzo,
Not as
but
well
then
as Kinzo.
Kinzo has been focused on the interaction with the Kami.
Tell me, why do I have Bushido as a freely improvable skill, but Shinten is not?
Presumably because you haven't trained it up.
You started with it, but didn't
Right.
train it.
Right, yeah, got you.
Now, I think you got 5% Shinten at some point, possibly from the Dancing Waters or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it
Oh,
wasn't-
could well be.
It wasn't done by training.
And that won't count as a freely improvable skill
Yeah.
because it was.
You haven't
force
actually
fed.
trained it.
It was
Yes,
force
yes,
fed, yeah.
quite.
Yeah, got you.
Okay. At the end of the ceremony, the priest is looking somewhat drained and well, he is in his 60s, which is quite old for.
Yeah, well, help him stand up, help him support himself. then take him into the shrine and sit him down.
Oh yes. The peasants who've been attending will hastily sort out food and drink for everyone to refresh them, and the priest will once again thank Kinzo for accepting this task from the kami, and hopes that her blessing will help to guide him to wherever these chimes are. Okay.
Next question. I've not been really keeping track of time. Are we currently in about mid-spring or beginning of mid-spring?
I think so.
You have just passed the spring equinox.
Because we had a really, really mild winter while traveling with the Lord.
Yeah.
Does he think that we can cope with one more mild winter, or is this a time limit we've got to get done by
He doesn't
winter
know.
of this year?
Somehow, I mean, a spirit of fire having the power to affect things in the Kami's valley, even while the Kami's asleep, it must be getting power from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's invoking it and feeding it power somehow. So that there is active, involvement by others in trying to cause this to happen. Now he doesn't know whether there will be another mild winter. He doesn't know how hot they intend to try and get the lake. It all depends on how reckless the person driving this feels. If they think that the lake will get hot enough over the rest of the spring, the summer, and the autumn, such that come the winter, it'll be too hot for ice to form on it, then obviously their plans will come to fruition this winter. He would guess that it's probably the Lord of the Mountains behind it eventually, because he can't consider any human lord would be so foolish as to attempt to control the Kami of winter or use the Kami of winter cold in his plans. But having said that, he doesn't know much about what lords might be doing.
We were catching him up on the gossip. We probably would have talked about the fact that in the mountains near here, the Kami of the Mountains, the
Lord of the Mountains.
Lord of the
Mountains, sorry, has been fairly active with human help. So we would have probably let him know about that. So it's not unheard of that messing around in this area too. So
well, the Lord of the Mountains is always seeking to increase his power. But trying to control the effects of the Kami of the winter cold is a new one on him. But no sooner do the brave heroes stop him in one of his plots than he comes up with another.
Well, boss, it sounds like we've got to get on this pretty quick though before winter.
Well, that's what heroes are for, isn't it? It's hero time, boys.
Yes, so it is.
If anybody can be heroes, I know it's you boys. I'm proud of you heroes. We will be heroes. When heroes are called for, we will be those heroes.
Anyway, as far as what you should do, he asks that you visit Oita and speak to the senior priest at the shrine there. Hang on a second. Let me just call that up. I can't remember which the senior shrine is there. Let me just call that Bushido Bungo. Oita is there. Drat. I can't find this. I'm sorry. I can't find the. Oh yes, my apologies. Yes, I found it. Yeah. So there is the Kyūryū Hachiman Shrine, which is the largest shrine in the town, and he would suggest you go there and speak to Kanoshi Kawabe Katashige. 1 second, I will put that into the chat. So it's Kanoshi Kawabe Katashige. He is the senior priest at the Kyūryū Hachiman Shrine, and seek his help in your quest. He may be able to arrange for Bushi to escort you and assist you in whatever you are seeking. If he can throw any light on what he thinks might be happening out in the outside world, which might be influencing all this, then yes, that would be most helpful. Okay. Well, in actual fact, I would suggest that we call it a night there, and then you can start next time on your quest to find the other 3 wind chimes.
Awesome. We have a truly important quest now in front of us, boys.
Epic.
Yes.
Will be epic. Fantastic. Thanks for the session, David.
Indeed.
No trouble. Is there anybody else that people know might be interested in playing? Or
Your mate was maybe going to come and join in the new year, eh, Graham?
Certainly, yeah. I'll give him another nudge and see what he's.
See if he's interested.
I'll have
Yeah.
a poke around as well, David. See if we can maybe bolster the group up a wee bit. Get the numbers up a wee bit
Yeah.
as well. If we're going for the long
It's
haul,
a-
like.
It's actually a bit of a pity that the new player didn't join in this session, because we could have found him tied
in
up in
here.
a cave.
Or in
waiting
that
to be
cave,
eaten.
yeah. We'll work
That
it
would
out.
be
Which
easy.
seemed to be reasonable, you know. Oh,
Yeah.
you found this Shinto priest called Nakateru. Well, what's he doing? Well, he's tied up and he's got a pole stuffed up along his back, and it looked like we're going to roast him. And I thought, yeah, stop it, Tim. You're thinking too much. Thank you very much, Dave. That was great fun.
It was.
Okie doke.
Yes, that's Dave.
Thank you.
Look forward to the
David,
next
boys.
session.
See you all in 2 weeks.
Hang on a second. 2 weeks would be what date? Because I've got a horrible feeling that would be the 13th, wouldn't it?
Superstitious.
No.
Yeah.
It's just that on the 14th I'm travelling back.
Right, okay.
So I won't be able to run the game on the 13th.
Okay, no worries.
I'm
So
afraid.
we'll return in 4 weeks.
In that case,
Okay.
we will return in 4 weeks, and
Possibly
hopefully
with new players.
might be a new player, and we will see what happens. And you can start your trip on the quest for the wind chimes.